I'm Hilary, a mom in Oklahoma, and I am so ready for 2026.
And I'm Hannah, a stay-at-home mom in Texas, and I am crawling into 2026.
Oh, this is episode 66 of the Don't Eat to Read podcast. Technically, I guess this is kind of like another season. I don't really know how we are splitting those up, but hi, guys. We're excited that you're here. Today is a fun episode. It's going to be our top 10 reads of 2025.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. I had more than 10, and Hillary was like, no, you got to cut some. But I have loopholes, and I'll explain those later. But Hillary is saying that she has hers in order. So is your 10 your like the lowest and the 1 is the top,
Yeah,
and you're starting at 10?
yeah.
Okay, so Hillary's are incrementally
Better.
better. Mine, they're not. They're not.
You couldn't pick.
No, I struggled to get to 10, and I am really actually excited because organically I feel very well-rounded. And I was telling Josh
Mhm.
this last night. I said, I know I mean, I myself typically say, "Oh, well, I really only read romance." And I think people assume that probably because I feel like that about myself. But looking at my favorites and all the books I read last year, I feel like I'm more well-rounded than I think. So, I'm excited.
Yeah, something I've heard, I think I told you this on the Currently Reading podcast, which I love. They mentioned that how sometimes the books that surprised you or something that was out of your ordinary sometimes can be your best books. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's almost what makes the list more than like if you always read romance, then a romance may not surprise you or you
Uh-huh,
might,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have found that to be true. Something that you're like, I wasn't expecting this to be good, but it was. And you know what? I'm surprised that I had 10 that I loved. Because 2025, as you guys have seen, was a rougher reading year for me. I've read less, and I will share my stats on my Instagram. So if you want to go look at that, I'll share all my stats. But I was pleasantly surprised that I still had quite a few that I really loved. So let's get into it, I guess.
You can start.
Okay. So my number 10 book is this one. I kind of battled back and forth because I did have more than 10, but I decided to stick with all like 10 books that I knew, like new books that I read, not a
Mm,
reread. There were
okay.
some rereads I wanted to put, and I wouldn't be against it, but I just decided for this sake.
Mm-hmm.
So number 10 is This Book Will Bury Me by Ashley Winstead. This is a book about the sleuth, like online sleuth she
Mm-hmm.
about the Idaho murders. So this is a crime thriller. It has really low ratings on Goodreads, but that's mainly because people were very upset that it was based off of the real Idaho murders that happened a
Mm-hmm.
couple years ago. Obviously, that the real trial for that, it's over, it's done. The whole case is done. And the book is not identical. It's not like the how the real life case stuff ended is not how the book won or anything, but it did bother people. So just know that going into it, if that would bother you, then, skip it. But I really liked it. It was a good thriller. It felt like a crime. It felt like almost true crime, but in fiction form. So I really liked that one. It was fun.
I like it. I mean I have not read it, but I like that you picked that one because I do remember you talking about that, and I have not thought about that. I Is that book very popular? I don't feel like
Uh, I don't know. I mean, maybe in
maybe.
the thriller world, I don't know,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I'm like not in my
it's
parts.
it's polarizing though, so obviously not everyone loves it.
Okay, so the first one on my list is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. I loved it. I feel like I mean, I watched the movie, the first one, as a child. I didn't really have memories of it much whenever I read the book. So when I read the book, I just, I don't know, I loved it. And then when I watched the movie again after it, I enjoyed both. I felt like the magic of the movies was in the book for me. I loved the dinosaurs in the book, which I would, it's hard. I feel like it's hard to do it like in written form, and I think he did such a good job where me, who struggles visualizing things in books, I felt like I could see and smell and hear all the sounds of like the dinosaurs and the jungle setting, and like I just loved it. I also really liked that the science felt dumb enough for me. So like I didn't feel like I was just like lost the whole time. Because it is, the genre is, I think, sci-fi. I've seen it labeled as a few different genres. I would say it's sci-fi adventure-y, that, and I guess yes, there is some of a, not horror, but like what is that? Like thrill, would you
Yeah.
say? And so anyway,
Yeah.
also I just felt like the concept felt very much like
I think some
real
people would put it as horror.
because of the, yeah, monsters.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see that. So I just loved it. I really, really thought this was great.
That is not surprising. Yeah, I know. That was a good one for you. Okay, so my number 9 is The Favorites by Layne Fargo. This is, I don't even know how I would categorize, what genre I would categorize this under. I feel like it's shelved under romance sometimes. I don't feel like that is correct at all. I would just say it's general fiction, very much on the lines along the lines of Taylor Jenkins Reid, for sure. So
Oh.
very soapbox, not soapbox, soap opera, uh, gossipy Hollywood, those type of vibes. So like messy people, very imperfect. I don't even think they're likable, honestly. But it was so interesting about ice dancing, like figure skating, and a lot of drama. It was just one of those that you're watching the train wreck. So I really liked it. I don't think you would like this one, though. I'll be honest.
Uh, I think that's why I haven't read it.
Yeah,
And this
it's like
confirms Taylor
Taylor
Jenkins
Jenkins Reid.
Reid.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm out. Okay,
Yeah.
my next one is part of my loophole because I read book one and two last year. I'm just putting them together. So this is books one and two of the Skylord trilogy by Kelly Farina. And I mean, anybody who hears me talk about books has probably heard me talk about these books. The third one's not out yet, but the first two, they're so good. I love these because they are romantasy. So book one is labeled as YA, book two is labeled as new adult. Um, so they feel older to me, I guess is the point. They don't feel like young YA. And I just love it. I feel like from book one, page one, till the end of book two, it is so fast paced. It is very stressful. But I say that in a good way to note. I love whenever I'm stressed out in a fantasy series. And I love that the series in book two, it still keeps going. So it's not like, oh, this is just boring, like nothing's really happening, which I think is common for me to feel in a book too. And this one, oh, so good. And then there's also just like moments that Kelly, the author, it just feels very intentional where there's moments sprinkled in book two where you're like, oh, this was foreshadowed in book one and I did not realize it. So I think she's a little bit of a genius and this is her debut series. It's worth reading. I love it.
Okay. My number 8 is Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli. I will be honest, well, this is romantasy. I did not love this one as much as Heartless Hunter because Heartless Hunter is just like unmatched. That was my top read of last year. However, I still love this one. I thought it was a great conclusion. Looking back, I think they'd be perfectly read all together, like the two, one and two, back to back. So, that's why I think they go together really well. So if you're comparing them, I think one is better than two, but I still love this one. And we have a whole episode about that.
Yeah, that that hurt my soul because that was like in my top, I don't know, 12 and then I knocked it off the list because because of what you said. Because
Yeah.
ultimately I'm like I loved the first one better. However, the duology still to me 5 stars for both. So
Yeah.
I do agree. It was That it was up there for me too, in general.
But the whole experience was also like it was really fun reading it. Like when it first came out, like and we both got it. We did the episode, so it was a good experience.
I feel like we're gonna have to like link the episodes. I know we had a Jurassic Park
Yeah.
one too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. My next one is Forget Me Not. So this is a contemporary romance, and it is by B.R.
Oh,
Goodwin.
yep. The
I re
pretzel book.
Yes. Okay, so here's why I loved it. So Dina opens up a pretzel bakery in a small town. She meets this super nice guy named Jack, and he's totally into her. Like he's flirty, he's cute, funny, and like sociable. There's fireworks. She thinks that it's love at first sight. Like it's extreme, okay? But then the next day she sees Jack. He doesn't remember her. He's very standoffish and he's just rude. And so she's like, what the heck is going on? So that's the setup. That's all I'm going to say. There are definitely reasons for the switch up, and I just felt like this was one of the most unique plots in this genre that I have read
hmm
probably ever. You will either, I guess, love it or hate it, but I really liked it.
Yeah, it was really cute. And like romance plus, like plus other
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay. My number seven is Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. Bastone, I'm not sure how you say your name. I love this one. Hannah and I always talk about uh I don't even remember all the details of the book. I remember, it's very much again, probably shelved on the romance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I would shelve it there. I think I would probably shelve it in the fiction again. However, there
Mm-hmm.
is a romance on the side. But I love the discussion of grief. That's the main thing it was about. And I walked away with the like how to get out of a funk when you're in a funk and you can't get out of it for that day. You need something good for you, something bad for you, and a change of scenery. Like I still think of that to this day. And I read this book like almost a year ago. It's
Yeah,
so good. It's really good.
I love that book too, and that quote definitely. I feel like me and Hillary text it to each other all the time because it's
And it
like
it does work
it
too.
does.
It's
It's
really
genius.
helpful.
Okay, my next one is The Betrayal of Eden. This is by
Oh,
Erin
yes.
Phillips. Have you read this?
No, I bought it.
Oh,
But
oh,
I didn't want to read it during my pregnancy nausea, so I've been putting it off, but
but
I
you
have
know,
it.
your timing won't be bad though because book two, like it'll be closer to when you read it, and that's not always a bad thing because then you can
No,
just go
yeah.
in. So
Yes.
okay, so this is book one in a trilogy. It is, I think it's fantasy. I don't know if it's labeled YA, but it is fantasy for sure. And it's very much, so it's a Count of Monte Cristo reimagining. So it has that adventurous feeling. Um, I love it because I mean, it just sets everything up very much like intentionally where I've only read the first one, but I'm very excited for what's coming. It feels like a villain origin story, which if you are familiar with the Count of Monte Cristo, then you would kind of know, an idea of where that comes from. But the themes in this, there's some themes of like self-worth and like the value of a human life. And there's a lot of really, really good moments that are good for the book, but also like kind of like the Promise Me Sunshine quote, where I will think about it just in regular life often. So this one's the favorite.
Okay. This is where this gets a little confusing. Okay. Number six is Every Hour Until Then by Gabrielle Meyer. Do you have this one on your list?
I have one of hers on my list.
Okay. That is where, like, this was my Gabrielle Meyer year. She was like, I think my most repeat like author like that I read of her books. I did not have not read the latest one. I have it, but I haven't read it yet. But I have read a lot of her books this year. So I had to just pick. So this one is it's about time travel kind of where the characters it's a series. The characters like wake up in a different time period every time they go to bed and wake up. So like in this one, we're talking about Jack the Ripper in London in 1888 and then she's also when she goes to bed, she wakes up, she's in it says Washington, D.C. in 1938. So it was so interesting. I love the Jack the Ripper setting here. I think that was a I don't know, it was hard for me to pick like
Mhm.
in the grouping there I like them all, but
Mhm.
I remember particularly liking that part and then I like the romance in this one too. So, yeah.
So
I love this series.
my next one is In This Moment by Gabrielle Meyer. I this one would be the second one in the series, and this one, so the reason why I like this one, I mean, like Hillary said, I really enjoy all of them. Like even the ones that I didn't rate 5 stars, I was still very happy that I read them all, and I would still like she has more, like many more coming in the series, and
Mhm.
I like happily will continue to read them. I even pre-ordered the most recent one. So that should say how highly I,
Mhm.
enjoyed the series. So In This Moment is my favorite because I just felt like I maybe related to Maggie. She's the main character in this book. Every main character you kind of get a different perspective of the time jumping and how they feel about it and how they view it. And there's a lot of ethical and moral questions that come up in the series, and it's just very thought-provoking. So I really like it. This one, I specifically remember there's a lot of Pearl Harbor, so that's all I will say. I love it.
Okay. My number 5 is The Women by Kristen Hannah. This is definitely on the list of surprised me. I read it because everyone was like, yes, you need to try it. And I was like, no, it's too sad. I don't know. But I loved it. I was talking to my husband about it like the whole time, bothering him about everything. And then even after I read it, I kept finding myself looking at the Vietnam War book at Costco. Like, that was like a coffee table book. And my husband was like, do we just need to buy this for you? Like, because I was just so fascinated. So it made me deep dive into the Vietnam War. It is very sad. It is, but it's because the Vietnam War is sad, but it was so good. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there, but it felt like she was really trying to be historically accurate. And I did not feel on this one like she was intentionally trying to just make you sad. I think
Mhm.
it's just a sad time of life. So, but I thought it was really excellently done. The setting is so clear. I felt like I was there. It was really good.
Here's my question. Do you think I would like it, or do you think it would be like too sad for me?
No, I don't think it'd be too sad for you. It's just, I mean, it's about a war. So as long as you know you're going in, like people are gonna die a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, the Vietnam War. And then if you know a little bit about the Vietnam War history, like when the troops and stuff came back to the United States, they were hated very much
Yeah.
by Americans. So, you kind of, I thought it was interesting, like how you see history repeating itself too. Like now,
Yeah.
it was just really good. So I think you would love the writing. So if you like the writing of like Where the Crawdads Sing or um I don't know, like very like well, not the scenes. What am I trying to say? The setting. The setting is very clear.
Mm.
That is good. And this book focuses on PTSD a lot because that is when the term is first like coined and used and people are trying to treat it. And so I found a lot of interest in that too. So I don't know if you're prepared for an emotional book,
Yeah.
but it's not as justice oriented. It's just
Mm.
kind of like, well, yeah, this part it sucked. It was hard.
Well, speaking of justice and speaking of Where the Crawdads Sing, my next one is Frozen River by Ariel Lawton. So I read this. Why did I read this? Was this book club?
No, I just told you about it.
Oh, okay. So this is historical fiction and shock. I was absolutely shocked that I loved it. There were several moments that I was like, no, 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 not gonna like this. And because it is sad. So it's sad. I don't know. It is sad, but also I would probably say more like heavy. There are heavy moments in it, but the reason why I loved it, I thought it was very unique to me. I don't read a lot of historical fiction. Like I would not say this is romance. So it's like historical fiction is different for me. Ultimately, felt like this was really cool because there's a lot of midwifery from, oh man, I don't have a note for like what time period this was. Was it the
It's like right
70s?
after the revolution, so
So
because yeah, right? Was it right after or right before? It was in the 1700s for sure.
17, yeah, I don't know. I don't have it written down. I just know it's from 1700s, old time, and I liked it. I felt like the setting, it was very atmospheric to me, which is why I in my brain compared it to Where the Crawdads
Yes.
Sing.
Setting,
Um
strong setting for sure.
yes, so like not swampy like the crawdads, but like frozen, winter, cold, all of that. And then I loved that, yes, you had sad moments, you had horrible people with horrible choices, but there was a lot of justice, and a lot of full circle moments. So I really liked this one for those reasons.
Yeah, I was surprised you liked it too because you kept texting me like how sad it was and I was like, "I'm sorry, I didn't think it was that sad." And then at the end you're like, "I loved it so much." I'm like, "Oh, I'm surprised."
If it had ended, and this is the thing too about me, that if there is no justice for horrible people, then I will
Mhm.
not like it. So if it wasn't the case, then I would not have been happy.
That's why I don't think it's a sad book in my opinion because I don't feel like it had a sad ending
That,
necessarily.
yeah, and that makes sense. I think it ended well, which
Yeah, there
it
was
does
not
make a
like
big
a
difference for
it
me.
was not like a hopeless book.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 4 is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I really enjoyed it. This was very exciting to me. I pre-ordered this book. I really enjoyed it. Like, yeah, was it The Hunger Games again? Yes. But I loved it. This was a sad book.
Yeah.
Another sad
It
book.
was very sad.
Yes, and it has a sad ending.
Yeah. It
It
was
very
good
sad.
though. It was really good.
Yes. And I am so excited to go see it in the theaters
I
next or
know.
this year, at the end
On,
of this
is it
year.
your birthday?
Yeah.
I think so.
Hopefully I can go see it. Yeah, I'm excited. So I just thought this was so well done, worth the wait. So yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's not, that one's not on my list, but I will say it was 5 stars for me also. So I loved it. Okay. My next book is a loophole again. So my next one is a series, because like I didn't have like a specific book in the series. It's a 4 book series. The series for me was a favorite for the year. So this is the Lachlan Feud series. This is by Robin Mall and L. Madison. So the different books, I it's interesting because it's a romantasy. When I started book 1, there are 4 books, remember. So I started book 1 and I was like, okay, like I see where we're kind of going, but like I didn't wasn't obsessed with the first book. Then book 2, I was like, okay, this is going somewhere different than I thought. I'm very curious. I have questions. Then we hit books 3 and 4 and everything started clicking. Like all the things that I was kind of questioning in the first 2 books all made sense and felt very intentional, which at the time I wasn't, you have to wait. You have to like fully ride out the whole journey to see all of that. So I really felt like by the time I finished, I was like, wow, so impressed. I thought that it was just very well done. So the first book in the series is The Scarlet Princess. And again, it's the Lachlan
Oh,
feuds.
yes, I do. I was like gonna say I don't even remember you talking about it, but yes, I do.
It's good. I think they're very good. And it's like romantasy. I'm trying to think, is it like set in Scottish? I feel like it has like Scottish. I could be wrong, but I think it is.
The name
Anyway,
Lachlan does make sense.
yes. Oh, and the main character, she looks like it in the cover and like her physical description and her behavior, personality. She reminds me of Merida from Brave. Very much so. Like the family
Oh, look.
dynamic and all that.
It says I borrowed this from Kindle Unlimited. I'm guessing that's why, because of you.
You
I need
need
to
to
read it.
try
Yeah.
it. They're really good. So I like that series a lot.
Okay. My number 3 is okay, this is a repeat, so it'll be fast. Hannah and I said we were wondering if we had any repeats. So this is In This Moment by Gabrielle Meyer.
You had 2 of hers on your list?
Yep, I did.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm like, I didn't cheat. I separated them.
Yeah.
Uh, I particularly, it's funny because Hannah mentioned Pearl Harbor, but the reason I loved this one, I think, is because the other timeline, there's three, first of all. That's what
Hmm.
makes this unique. So that was so complicated and it was so impressive how she kept it straight. But the timeline that stuck out to me the most was the 2001 timeline. So as if you live in America, you know what happened in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And I lived through that time. And so I think that is what stuck out to me because she lived during like the Civil War, I think, and then Pearl Harbor, like Hannah said, and then 2001, and which 2001 is kind of throwing me that that's considered historical now. But it was interesting to see
Mm-hmm.
that collide with like modern because she had a lot of like modern things like TVs and cars and technology and stuff like that. So I just thought this one they're all good, but this one I think stuck out to me.
Which is funny because I was like, you're working up to your favorite one, and I was like, she liked that one the most. So I'm like surprised and also not surprised that this
But I
one.
love the Jack the Ripper too.
Yeah, they were all very different
And
because
the other one that I wanted to mention was what was the other one that I was like I like that one too. Witch Trials, that one I remember that
yeah,
one.
hmm,
And obviously I love the first one with the Revolution. I like them all. The
yeah,
only one I did not love was the pirate book.
mm-hmm.
I didn't hate it. I did like it.
Have you read her newest one, Through Each
No,
Tomorrow? Oh,
no,
okay,
that's the one I still need to read.
okay.
But
I
the
won't say
pirate
anything.
book, I was like, it was fine. It wasn't my favorite.
That one
But
was
that
not
was
my
also when
favorite
I
either.
started getting morning sickness
No,
and
it was not you. It was the book.
yeah,
I'll say it.
but it
Okay.
was still good. It was still good. I have not disliked any of them.
Okay. My next one feels like a it's just it does the book is not out yet, okay? I'm sorry. When Dealing with Dragons by Dana Swift, I read this was like one of the last few books I read in 2025. It comes out in June 2026. It's a YA romantic.
Wow, June?
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm sorry, guys. You just have to put it on your radar. So I read this, and I have not felt this excited for a fantasy that involved dragons probably since Fourth Wing. Like I've
Wow.
read a lot, and I've never loved how dragons are like utilized in a story. I don't know if sometimes they just feel dumb to me, or like sometimes they feel too silly, or like I don't know. It is a very fine line for me of like dragons working in a book for me. And I don't know. This book to me, it felt like a combination of like a little bit, not a lot, a little bit of Fourth Wing vibe because you have the like an academia setting, but then also I
Hmm.
almost felt like Divine Rivals, like kind of like the style of writing, and then they are rivals and like school rivals, and there's a whole story between them, and I don't know. I felt like they had a very sweet friendship, and it reminded me of the dynamic in Divine Rivals, which I loved. So,
So
I
is this romantasy or
yes,
no?
I mean, I would say yes, YA romantasy. However, it is like urban fantasy because there are cars, there are phones.
Okay.
Not like I don't think they're texting, but like they're making phone calls. So like
Mm-hmm.
it felt like oldish. Like it didn't feel like 2025. It did not feel like that modern. But it did have it was weird. I didn't know how to like classify it because it almost felt like historical romanticy.
How'd you
It was
even hear
interesting.
about it?
Literally, I just saw it on like
NetGalley?
yeah. And
Wow.
I looked at the cover and I looked on Goodreads because I do my research now, and I saw the author had like she had Q&A on her on Goodreads, and she said that she was getting a lot of questions if there was explicit spice in her book, and she was like, "No, it's very important to me that because I write YA that it does not have explicit spice on page." And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna try it." Because I mean, it shouldn't be rare, but I feel like that's rare. And I really, really liked it. I took a chance. I had never read anything by her, and I loved it. It's great.
I'm like looking up this book and it says I read it and rated it 5 stars.
What?
And I'm like, that is a lie. I hate
What
Goodreads.
did you do?
I don't know. And then I'm looking at my books and I'm like, it's not even there. But I was like, no, I didn't. I've never even. Oh, now it's back to nothing. And I'm like, I hate this app.
Oh my gosh.
It said you read this book and rated it 5 stars. I'm like, I've never even heard about this book till right now. So
Wow.
ridiculous. Okay, well, I added it now to my list, TBR, but June,
I know.
hopefully I remember. Okay, my number two book. We're getting up there, guys. Hannah will be excited by this one. Draco Malfoy and the Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love by at Is This Self-Care. This was literally the first book I read in 2025. So over a year ago now. And it has still stuck with me. It is so good. It is a fantasy, romantasy for sure, I guess. And yeah, it's fan fiction, so technically it's not a book, my pet peeve. But it was so good about Draco and Hermione and their continued story. This one is not dark like Manacled, but it was I still loved it. And it's crazy how Manacled was like top of my list last time, and this is number two. This time they're just totally different, but still huge. This was a big book, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it is. It's like
It's
over a
very,
thousand pages,
yeah,
I think.
very large, but it's so good. It goes down so easy. I was just smiling the whole time. It's so good. So highly recommend it.
That was my favorite of all of 2024. So that just
I will
says it
say
all.
this is open door, but if I remember correctly, she does like it's very, very late in the book, and I think she makes note of it at the beginning of the chapter
Mhm.
that you could, she's like, just skip this chapter if you don't
Skip
want to read it.
to the stars or something.
Yeah, it was very clear, and it had nothing to do with the plot or anything, so wasn't necessary. Like you can easily skip it without missing anything. So really good.
That's all I needed to know. I wanted to read it again.
You should.
Okay, my next one is Joy to Noel by Tracy Bach. So the last two books I'm mentioning are
Wow.
Christmas books, which is very fitting that two of my favorites for the year are Christmas related. I love this book. So it had like a lot of my favorite things. First of all, I love Tracy's writing in general. We already know this. I think her writing is very it almost feels like not this book specifically, but her writing in general almost feels like women's fiction in the sense of like you don't get dual POV, so like you're very much focused on like the woman's journey and her growing and all that. So I like that. But I like that this one had Christmas. Obviously, Saved by Noel was on my list last year, so I thought that was funny. This one is set in the same town. I love the setting. I love that it's Christmas. I love that there's the cat. She based it off of my cat that I had named Hamlet. So like it's just special. I'm biased. I loved it. That's it. Obsessed.
Okay, now this is my number one. I mean, this is no surprise to anybody, I don't think. My number one is The Frozen River by Ariel Lohan. Hannah already talked about it. I absolutely loved it. Historical fiction. Yes, the amount of justice that happens. It's just like sweet justice. It's sad things happen, but it's not a hopeless book. It's lots of good things happen. And the themes of marriage and like not early marriage, like later marriage and parenting and women's like feminist, like true feminism, just so good. I highly recommend it to like anybody, honestly. And that's easily my top read of the year.
I was wondering if this was gonna make it because I was like, where is it? It's not
Yeah,
here.
for sure, number one. That one was easy for me. I was like, it just stuck with me the whole entire year.
Okay, my last one is Grace and Henry's Holiday Movie Marathon by Norman Matthew. This is another one that I have just talked a lot about. I love it. So it's Christmas, it's romance, but beyond that, it kind of like Promise Me Sunshine. It's
Yeah, for
um
sure.
I have learned I feel like in 2025, I love books that have themes of grief. So like love after loss, what that looks like, what that feels like. It just makes me really sad, but I really enjoy it a lot. It probably gives a lot more depth to like characters for me and I enjoy it. It just this book specifically, it gave me a whole new perspective on loss because you do have messy moments, you have messy characters, flawed, and I just really liked how the author took a risk with some of those plot points. And I know it really
Mm-hmm.
didn't work for a lot of readers, but for me, it really, really worked. Just seeing something different, seeing something unique. And yes, it made me question a lot about people who lose their spouses and what they might go through also. So I loved it.
I also really like that book. Yes, I agree. Promise Me Sunshine. It is along the same lines as that.
Hmm. Which I loved that book too.
Yeah, so that's it. I'm surprised we got through all of those in that time. So let us know, guys, like what was your top book of the year? Are there any of them that we said, but we want to know what you guys think. I know I will post my like image post of my top 10. By the time this episode comes out, I will post it. But then this episode can be like my thoughts about what my top 10 was.
I plan to do that also. And on our podcast page, I will make sure I'm going to make a graphic and I'll share that also.
Yeah, okay. So you can find me at Hilary Reads,
And I'm at Hannah Reads.
and you can find our podcast at Don't You to Read Podcast all on Instagram. Please come find us, like and comment, and we are always active on there, especially Saturdays. So come talk to us and let us know what your favorite book is. So you can comment that on Spotify or on our Instagram, whichever you want. We can't wait to hear you.
Yes, let us know what you've added to your TBR from our podcast today, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Oh, yeah, we'll see you for Harry Potter.
Oh yeah. I'm like, we're out of time.
Bye.